For the past 3 weeks of Advent, we have focused on waiting, on preparing, and on hoping. Today, our focus shifts. The wait is almost over. The long expected and hoped for fulfillment of God's promises expressed through the prophets, culminating in the voice in the wilderness of John the Baptist, is beginning to take shape in a way which only God could have devised. All of the waiting, all the expectation, and all of the hope come down to one young woman and her response to God's unexpected invitation. Certainly, the Jewish people had long awaited and expected and hoped for the Messiah to come. And Mary, as a devout Jew, would have shared in this hope. But what no one, Mary included, could have expected was how God was going to fulfill his promises. The Jewish people had expected that the Messiah would be a lot like the great King David, about whom we heard in our lesson from the book of Samuel. They looked for a powerful political and military leader who would reestablish Israel as a free and independent kingdom, cast off the yoke of the Romans. And they saw this way because they saw their problem as being primarily a matter of worldly institutions. God saw something else. To God, the real problem, not only with the Jewish people, but with all people, was one of the heart. The heart of mankind was closed. It was inward-looking and it was selfish. To begin to open the hearts of all people, God started with that one young woman. If she would open her heart in trust and in hope and in love, then the door would be open for all the possibilities which God had in mind for people everywhere. Of course, we know that that young woman, Mary, did open her heart to God. She did say yes. In fact, she said more than just yes. She said, "Here I am, the servant of the Lord. Let it be with me according to your word." She made an unconditional act of faith. And in so doing, she opened herself and all of the world to the coming of God as one of us. The canticle which we read a few minutes ago is called the Magnificat. It is Mary's prayer, and it testifies to the power and the meaning of the incarnation of God becoming a human being. In the incarnation, the normal human experience and expectations are turned on their head. The mighty are pulled down from their thrones. The lowly are lifted up. The hungry are filled, and the rich sent away empty. The incarnation, the coming of God as man in Jesus, which we anticipate and will celebrate on Christmas, changes everything. It changes the paradigm by which we determine what is good and what is evil. It changes the values by which we decide what is important and what is not. The coming of God as one of us through the simple yes of a simple peasant girl is one of the most radical, revolutionary, and life-changing events which has ever happened in the entire history of the world. This is so not just because it introduces Jesus Christ into human history as a baby in Bethlehem, but because the incarnation encompasses the whole of the life, teachings, death, resurrection, and ascension of Christ, and everything that flows from it into my life and into your life. And that is what we've been waiting, preparing, and hoping for during these weeks of Advent. Our Advent season of waiting is rapidly, very rapidly coming to an end. So let us open our hearts to God as Mary did, so that we can join her in saying, "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has looked with favor on his lowly servant. The Almighty has done great things for me, and holy is his name." To him be all honor and glory now and forever.
Amen.